From the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Then they came to Capernaum, and on the Sabbath Jesus entered the synagogue and taught. The people were astonished at his teaching, because he taught as one having authority and not as the scribes. In the synagogue there was a man with an unclean spirit. He cried out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come here to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." Jesus rebuked him and said to him, "Quiet, come out of him." The unclean spirit convulsed him, and then with a loud cry came out of him. The people were amazed and asked one another, "What is this? A new teaching with authority. He commands the evil spirits, and they obey him." His fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. Brothers and sisters, this is the good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
This afternoon, we concluded our 6th annual Women's Retreat here at Santa Teresa. And as you may have noticed at the beginning of Mass, several of the women who made the retreat walked in procession. I wanted to recognize our women once again, and especially the team also that worked together. So could all the women who made the retreat and are here with us, could you just stand in your place wherever you are? Please welcome them with joy. It was a wonderful retreat that started on Friday evening, and 139 women registered for the 6th annual retreat. The most, I guess, we've had in all the years we've been doing the retreat for the women. And at the end of the retreat today, a woman came up to me and said, "Thank you for the retreat. I was in heaven." Those are her exact words. Another woman came up to me and said, "I came to the retreat with an empty bucket, and I'm going with a bucket that's full. I'm not from this parish, but I found a new home." So we are thankful for the many ways in which God has touched our lives during this beautiful retreat. We were a little concerned because we don't have a hall yet, and we had so many that had signed up. In fact, we had to say no to several women who wanted to come. But we were able to do this in this beautiful church of ours that serves many purposes, including tables for lunch and breakfast and everything else that we did here to make it a beautiful spiritual experience for everybody. Our theme was the joy of the gospel, an apostolic exhortation written by Pope Francis 8 months into his papacy, his first writing. And we saw right away that what he wrote reflected the way the Pope himself was living out his Christianity, and therefore inviting all of us to do the same. And even though in the writing he talks about many issues, especially evangelization and social justice and compassion for others and service to the poor and so on, deep down the basic message of the joy of the gospel is that we are called as disciples to have a deep personal friendship with Jesus Christ. When we have that deep personal friendship, then joy will emanate from us. And this joy will attract others also to the faith. That this is what it's all about, and we celebrated that joy during this retreat. Why make a retreat? For me, a retreat is synonymous with rest, with the Sabbath, with slowing down our lives, a plugged-in existence, as I call it. It's an opportunity for us to come together, to pray and to reflect and to grow and to get to know one another as well. It is not always possible for men and women to take a few days off and go on a retreat to another place, to leave their families or to leave their spouses and so on. And so offering it here at the level of the parish is such an easy way for many more to participate in an annual retreat. People come on Friday and then they go home and then they come back to spend all of Saturday. And I'm thankful that so many are here also to celebrate the Eucharist, to complete this experience of the joy of the gospel. Why a personal friendship with Jesus? We see in many religions, whenever they're talking about something spiritual, they will always refer to God as making that possible. God will be compassionate. God will be loving. God will be merciful. God will do this and the other. But today, as the gospel told us, we have a new teaching with authority. Why the difference? Because Jesus is not talking about God. He is saying, I am doing this for you. Throughout the gospel, he uses the name of God for himself. I am the life and the resurrection. I am the way and the truth and the life. I am the good shepherd. I am the vine and you are the branches. I am God who has come to you in order to bring you to eternal life. This is the new teaching with authority, where Jesus himself comes to us as our God, to show us how much God loves us. And even the unclean spirits recognize who he is. I know who you are, the Holy One of God. The Holy One is what is referred to as the name for God. And so it is not only unclean spirits who need to recognize this, but every disciple who is called to follow Jesus. So we are grateful to all the women who took the time to participate in the joy of the gospel and to become disciples of Jesus, who is our Lord and our Savior, and to deepen their friendship and their intimacy with Jesus, who will be a lifetime friend for whoever wishes to seek that relationship. And so let us all seek to find opportunities like this retreat. The men are following up right away. So at the end of this month, it'll be the men's turn. And so we did the youth retreat in the summer. We finished the women's retreat. And now the men. So nobody will be left out. Everybody has an opportunity to deepen our intimacy and our friendship with Jesus